All right, what's up, guys? It's a gorgeous day in Anchorage. It's April 26th, and I'm gonna get out and do a little spring bear hunting.
It's amazing that spring bear hunt dreams are made of. Denali's out there on full view. But yeah, I'm going straight to Liamna. It's about my GPS is showing a 2-hour flight. No complaints. I know it's basically going to be bluebird like this today and tomorrow. And then Thursday, we'll see how that looks. Friday's supposed to get really windy. So I'm just going to take it one day at a time. But for now, I'm on a 2-day adventure to find a bear coming out of a den. And I basically flew for quite a while along the coast. I decided not to use Lake Clark or Merrill Pass. Basically the winds just kind of favored staying on the water, so I probably picked up an extra 15 miles an hour or so using that. Yeah, it's gorgeous, but I'm just kind of going to blast right across the top, direct to Liamna. That's kind of when the fun starts. Once we get there, we'll just start looking at all the hills out there, and if we can find a magnum, brown bear. So should be awesome. This is like my favorite style of hunting. You feel just like the ultimate aerial predator out doing recon. It's a lot of fun. Let's do it.
Made my first landing out here, and I'm going to switch these bad boys into ski mode. So this little bar basically pushes the ski down and then locks it in place. Oops, wrong way. So now the ski's in. So now the wheel's off the ground and it's just riding on the ski. It's gonna be a lot less resistance when I go to take off. These skis I have are like brand new to me, so I'm just kind of getting a feel for them. And I figured I should probably practice on a few places that are pretty easy. So landed here. Stopping's really no problem at all. You can see that was just a couple hundred feet. And then taking off, I'll probably scoot back over there to get a little bit more runway, put my skis back in my tracks, and then I'm just gonna go up and over this edge, and it basically just drops, a nice gradual drop off. I should get lots of speed off of that. So kind of testing these skis out, seeing just seeing how they perform in different snow conditions. There's a lot of snow here. It's kind of slushy, but I think these skis will actually ride on top of it pretty nice because it's fairly firm with a big surface area. So let's do it. Let's see how this works.
Alrighty, we're making a little progress out here. I've been flying probably for about 2.5 hours or so, kind of in the area that I was hoping to find some bears, and I've seen, let me think, probably about 5 to 7 dens at least, and but all of them have had tracks kind of leaving the den, so no bears still at the den, which is kind of a bummer. But
getting this bad boy sighted in.
Got the rifle sighted in, put a set of tracks down. This is actually a really cool spot. I would totally camp here. It's kind of in this valley. I could see bears moving through here. I think it'd be really hard to spot them, unless you kind of knew it was in here. But still, it's, if I'm just on a camping trip, this is pretty gorgeous. So there's a den right around that corner, and then the bear's tracks actually come about probably 100 yards in front of the plane here. So pretty cool. I'm hoping to find something, but just got to get out here and go for it. That's kind of the name of the game. I'm not going to see anything in Anchorage, so this is the only way to find out if there are any still coming out of the dens. But I'm going to head and get some gas, and then keep flying. All right, I spotted a bear. It's kind of right on the spine of this ridge. You can sort of make his den out, but there's a bunch of tracks. Yeah, he's just sitting right on that knob. I think this is a bear definitely worth going after. I can probably get to a pretty decent place to land that's almost out of sight, and then just a couple miles in the morning to make a move on him. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here.
Made it to Dillingham, actually. So I've just been flying around a bunch, which means I need some gas. So up to this point, I've seen 5 bears on the ground, which is pretty awesome. And there's 2 that I'm pretty excited about. One I'm gonna try for. I don't know if it's necessarily the bigger of the 2, but it's I think it's in a spot. It's pretty similar to last year. It's kind of sitting on this knob, on like a sunny knob, and I'm hoping that he decides to just stay on that knob. So I landed on a bear. So there's a bear probably actually about 2 miles away from me. It's funny when you are in the air, it all looks pretty close, but now that I'm on the ground, it looks a little further away than I was thinking, but it should be sweet. I can't tell for sure if he's on it. There is a den within 100 yards of him, so it's possible that's his den, but I also could see tracks going up to the top of the ridgeline and then maybe coming back. There's just a bunch of tracks going all over on this ridgeline up here, so we'll just see what happens. But it's basically 9 p.m., so I've got probably an hour and a half or so until sunset, maybe an hour. I figured this is about as good of an opportunity as I'll have. Generally, I think if you can find one that's on a den, I just have to imagine your odds of success are way higher. So that's why I kind of wanted to try for this one right away. And the thing is, I'm 50-50 on if it's his den or not. I'm not really sure, but if it is, I think there's a really good chance he's going to be sitting in that same spot tomorrow. Okay, so got the wing covers on, which those are mainly just to kill any lift, and then obviously if it frosts up for some reason, but I'll probably be hiking in the morning anyways, so it doesn't make a huge difference. But then I'm gonna tie the plane down. It's just always, for me, peace of mind when I'm out hiking around. But my buddy Chris showed me this. It's kind of a cool little trick. Basically, I'm just gonna fill this thing with snow, dig a hole, and then bury it. Alright, cool. The only other thing that I'm going to do is I'll just bury the actual ski itself. So I'll dig out, put snow on it, and that does two things. One, it's going to keep the airplane on the ground better if the winds get crazy. I know on Friday the winds are forecast to gust like 40, so I'm kind of keeping that in mind. Because today was supposed to be totally calm, and it was definitely a lot breezier than what the old forecast said. But one, it's going to keep them, so I'll keep it locked down, and then two, occasionally the bottom of the ski will actually freeze. So usually if you come in to stop, bring it to a stop, wait like a minute, let the skis themselves cool down, and then pull forward, 3 or 4 feet, and then stop, and then your in theory your ski won't freeze to the snow because it's hot. So right now I'm just going to cover it up to kind of make sure that doesn't happen either. For a friend of mine, Scott, he said he's had just basically like ice chunks form on the bottom of the ski, which obviously creates a ton of drag when you're trying to take off. So these skis they work, but they're not as good as straight skis. So got to take advantage of every thing that I can to make sure I can take off out of here, because I'm still pretty heavy, because I got almost full fuel and then about 18 gallons of extra fuel, so on the heavier side. But I'm gonna get these covered. All right, making a little dinner here. Got a nice rest here with my iPad. Kung Pao rice with chicken. It's gonna be amazing. Snow is like super saturated with water, so probably one thing of snow equates to about half of a thing of water, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I'll just keep boiling a little bit of that, fill my water bottles up, and then I'm gonna hit the hay. So sunrise is at 6:45. I'll be ready to rock. It's a little after 7. Sun's rising. Hopefully the bear's still sitting up there. I'm gonna put the skis on. Let's go do this. Try to get a bear today. It's pretty much, the wind is kind of the same direction, so it's blowing this way, so I'm in a good spot for the wind. It's just a matter of finding the bear and seeing if we can get in a position to get a shot. So let's do it. All right, I think that's the bear. See, yeah, right where that little dark spot is there, you can see all the tracks going in and out. And there's just kind of an off-colored brown blob right in the middle. I think that's it. So now I just got to come up with a plan on how to get to it. I think for now I'm just going to try to sneak as close as I can and kind of see how close that gets me. I think it'll still be, I don't know, probably 600 yards away, which won't be close enough, and then I'll maybe be able to see if there's any more nooks and crannies I can sneak through. I just about pooped my pants right there. That moose came blowing out of these alders. Needless to say, I didn't think it was a moose at first. Holy cow. That is crazy. See what we're working with here. Alright, there we go. He's right up there. I'm trying to figure out where I can go to get a shot. The wind's blowing straight in my face right here. So it's definitely not ideal, but just kind of thinking how I'm going to try to go after this guy. So kind of torn on what to do here. Alright, I decided what I'm going to do. This might be a learning opportunity for me, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go down to the base there and try to essentially work my way up towards him. I'll just go nice and slow. The main reason is I know that the wind will be in my favor. So where he's sitting right now, I just don't see really any other option, because I don't think I could shoot across. I think it'd be too far. And if I come from the top, he'd probably be able to smell me. And so that I just don't think that that's a great option. So this will be a little bit of an experiment, because I'm not sure what he's going to do. If he's definitely going to hear me coming. There's no way with how crunchy this snow is that he's going to hear me. But I think if I just go nice and slow, we'll see what happens. The one advantage I have is he doesn't have a lot of escape routes. Like if he goes, the thing that he needs to do is just go up the ridge, and he would for sure get away. But if he drops down, there's a potential that I'd have a shot on either side. So we'll see what happens. All right, I'm making it. All right, guys, I'm making my way around. And I spotted, I would say is a 100% confirmation. There's a bear sitting right on that knob. So he's 577 yards away. I just ranged him. And I think my plan is basically going to be, I'm probably going to put on my whites and just try to, slowly work my way around here and get on basically that hill. You can see it, that ridge line, and just kind of slowly work my way up. And there's a few little patches of basically rock, and as soon as I get to one of those that I can make him out, I think he's going to be in trouble. But I don't have a whole lot further to close, really. It's just going to be a matter of actually being able to see him and get a shot at him. So pretty exciting. I think I'm in a good spot here. I'm feeling more optimistic than I was about an hour ago, so this is great. Gonna start making the move. I switched over to my whites, so obviously you can see I'm definitely majority in the snow, and I have a feeling that if this works out, I'm gonna be pretty close to it by the time I can actually get a shot. I mean, honestly, I think maybe inside of 100 yards. So I'm hoping this bear is in that same lethargic state of mind, and the wind is really calm right here, but I'm hoping as I go up the ridge, hopefully it'll be a little bit stronger. And that should conceal some of my sound. So he's probably sitting about 400 yards, roughly, right up there. So yeah, it's just gonna be nice and slow and steady. Try to be quiet. The wind's right in my face. I'm pretty excited, but a little nervous at the same time. So hopefully this works. But it's that's why I'm out here. So definitely got the heart pumping. All right, there goes tracks right here. This is going to be a really close encounter. I have a feeling I'll be inside of 100 yards on him when I crest this hill, maybe even only like 50. So I'm going to have to be ready to let her rip. The wind is shifting. It just got like dead calm out. I literally need to go like 30 more yards and I'll have a shot at him, but the wind just is dead calm, so I want to wait. So, because it's pretty loud going across this snow. It's literally been like a 10-mile-an-hour wind in my face the whole way, and then it just stopped. Standard. I'm guessing I'm within 150 yards of him right now. So this is not the ideal time for the wind to be playing games. Made it happen. Right on the other side of this, he's probably about 70 yards away, so let's go check him out. I shot 3 times. Pretty much if he was still moving, I was gonna shoot because he's in a great spot. So yeah, he just kind of anchored him right there. I'm not sure how big it is, but we're about to find out. This is where I got to, this ridge right here. You can see him. He's just sitting in the snow right there, so can't be more than 50 to 75 yards away. What's great is he's in the perfect spot to clean him right there. All right, anybody would move if his nuts got hit, so sweet. Brown bear down. This is a sweet bear. It's a little bit bigger, I think, than the one last year, so probably 8.5 foot bear. And yeah, it's in pretty decent condition. Obviously it's springtime, there's still snow on the mountains, so they really haven't, their coats are still in pretty good shape. But yeah, I'm super excited. And yeah, I can't believe it. I ended up being about 3 miles from the plane. So a nice little day of exercise, and the stalk worked out. To be honest with you, I wasn't super optimistic. But once I made it to the base of this mountain and the wind was, blowing 15 miles an hour, 10, 15 miles an hour coming straight down, I was feeling like I had a pretty good chance going after it. And so it worked out. He, basically, I don't even think he ever got up from his spot the whole time that I, spotted him from on that hillside way over there. So yeah, definitely a cool bear. Obviously he's got huge claws, which is pretty cool. They're still, hardly even rubbed. I guess this one's a little splintered, but probably just from crawling around in the rocks. But yeah, his claws, big old head. He's pretty blonde, actually. It's just kind of cool up on the top. So yeah, cool bear. He's a little bit rubbed in the back. I noticed on his butt, he's got a little rub spot here. But other than that, you can tell, he's just like, his under hair on his belly and stuff is so thick, it's crazy. But yeah, nice 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 bear. There's the hide, pretty nice bear. No complaints. Probably about an 8.5 foot is my guess. Making the push back. Probably maybe a quarter of the way, maybe. That'd be pushing it, I think. But I brought this tarp with last year that seemed to work pretty slick. It's working fairly well. I think there's a little hill I gotta go up right up here. I think might do me in, but now we're in business. I dropped the gear back there in a spot that I'm pretty certain I can land. So saved me probably a good mile to mile and a half of dragging it.
Alrighty, well that's basically a wrap for the old bear hunt. But what a sweet trip. I mean, 2 absolutely gorgeous days of weather. Just total bluebird. And the first bear I went after, the stalk I made, ended up working out. So pretty awesome. And it was up close and personal. You know, when I got the shot, I think I was probably around like 50 to 75 yards from the actual bear. So pretty crazy to just be that close, and I was like slightly downhill, so that was a little exciting for old Isaac. But yeah, it's a gorgeous day. Gonna get back to Anchorage, regroup, and hopefully go out on another adventure. We'll see.